technology screens. Today we're going to talk about painting your walls with our ambient light projection screen paint. Hold on for a minute, I got another projector bar in the next room. Okay, that's perfect. Checking my projector setup in the next room. All right, so in this demonstration, we are using our Sony VPO FH36 projector. I think we have sound running for this one. I'm making sure. Where's the sound connected at? There's Sony projector. Let's disconnect this one and reconnect it over here. Now, using our screen paint is extremely easy, not hard to do. Does not require multiple coats or hard to understand instructions. For those of you who want to paint this directly to the wall, it's very easy to do. Hold on for a minute. See where my sound coming in at. Now, one of the beautiful things about our technology is the fact that our technology, yes, is very dark, but can produce extremely high white levels, allowing you to be able to pick up a beautiful image even in a fully lit environment. This was painted directly to the wall with no sanding or no priming. One coat application and we're done. Now it depends on if your surface has a bit of a protective coating. For some reason, the walls in this environment, I don't know why, have a kind of protective coating. Usually if you have that issue that pops up, I always say paint it the first time very lightly, hit it again the second time, and it'll blend right in. So drying time for this is around 30 minutes with a fan, depending on the size of your screen. Like I said, very easy to apply, and you can see the colors are nice and bright. And my projector is sitting back a full 18 feet from the screen. Now you don't have to spend a lot of money for a projector. This one behind me cost me around 350 bucks. That's basically about it. It's an old projector, discontinued in 2012, like the other Sony projector I have sitting right over there. No calibrating, no dark environments, no expensive overpriced projectors. Simple projector purchased off eBay. This is how it reacts to our technology. Now, painted on vantage points are painted on the wall. You don't have to spend the money for any screens or any hardware. Just no assembly, just paint it to the wall and you're done. Let's grab some other demonstrations over here. 8K Desired Nature.
Getting that from YouTube.
I particularly like this demonstration because I do like the contrast levels.
Playoff time, baby. Games, snacks, drinks. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Showing that we can actually, this application right here, which I love, we can bounce this anywhere in the house, anywhere. These look like OLED TVs painted directly to your wall. And unlike a gray screen, you can see 100% contrast and you can pick up color. That's the whole purpose why people like black technology, because you get that OLED look to your screen. Now, the technology you're seeing up here right now is a new technology we developed. It won't be available until next week. We still have a little bit more testing to go on it. So this right here is the dark platinum blue. If you saw the demonstration where I painted it on the screen, the motorized projection screen, they are actually blue. But because of the contrast shifting technology, they turn black the minute the projectors hit them. That gives the screen the ability to be able to mimic in a beautiful contrast level. New York City skyline, nighttime screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, I explained this many times before. Anytime you're watching a demonstration that involves contrast, it always has to be done in a fully lit environment. That way, the customer knows that if he turns on the light, the screen's not going to wash out. Now, just to show you a comparison which you will be getting from a gray screen, if you were to use this, let me move my motor out and change the screen up. If you were to paint this wall with a gray screen product, paint my remote controls for my. This is why I explained at the end of the day that gray screen paint products are old and obsolete. Now, if you were to paint your wall with a gray screen, this is what you'll be getting. Mind you, the projector behind me is 5200 lumens. This is what you'll pick up. At 5200 lumens, 1920 by 1200, full 1080p. You cannot see contrast levels. We're at 18 feet back from the screen. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube. Americans from all
And as you can see, our technology can blend right into it with no problem. It won't be to pick up certain colors like reds and blues. That's not going to pick up on the screen. There you go. Doesn't make a difference what shade, if it's a darker gray, if it's a lighter gray, it's not going to pick up. LG Beta Fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
This is why we strongly advise you not to paint gray screens on your wall, motorized projection screens, fixed range screens, and do not use them outside. They will not pick up. Especially not in a dedicated theater room. You want a lot of white lights splashing all over the place. Keep in mind when you're watching an OLED demonstration, background must remain black at all times. Black background, goldfish, screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
I particularly like this one because it's an extremely hard one to do. The background must remain black at all times. This is impossible to achieve with a gray screen, even in the dark. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. Can't see color. Even worse with lights out. Check out the blue neons out of the environment. It's pitch black in here. Like I said, even worse with lights out. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
See how our screen just blended right into it, make it disappear? That's that really high white, that heightener technology we embed into the screen to allow them to be able to see higher white light. All our dark technology has it. Beautiful flowers, 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Lights on. The key to an amazing screen is having a screen that can produce contrast levels, white levels, and colors all at the same time. It has to do with a balance. And dark technology has to have the ability to be able to keep up with lighter technology, but also too, it can produce contrast levels. That's something that lighter technology cannot produce, or color. When you're dealing with a lighter screen, you're going to deal with a dark environment, and you're going to deal with the painstaking of having to calibrate your projector because your colors will not come out correctly. Now, that projector behind me is actually more powerful than the 5,000 lumen Christie I got sitting downstairs. That's a 52 standing behind me. And at 5,200 lumens, still, your image is still going to wash out. That's how dark our technology is compared to the two samples laying against it. And look at the white levels we can pull off. As you can see how the red is washed out here. "4K Snow Screensaver."
Getting that from YouTube.
My screen has to maintain a certain white level so the screen doesn't come up too dark. That's one of the things I tell people when you watch demonstrations, watch the videos that they display. When gray screens display videos, they will stay far away from contrast levels. They will maintain contrast, or do contrast levels if they're in a darker environment because they know they can maintain that contrast level to a certain degree. When they're in a well-lit environment, they will stick close to colors. They will not do the same demonstration I just did right now. Because if they were to switch up in any of those environments, something on the screen is going to change. That's why when I watch demonstrations, it always starts off with color, and then eventually they turn the lights out near the end. Because their best performance is always going to be in the dark. You should be able to execute this in a fully lit environment with no problem whatsoever. Same thing I do when I go outside on 150 inches. Now let's remove these off the wall. We already proved our point with this already. Remove this off our technology here. Mind you, this technology is not black. This is actually lighter than the gunmetal technology I have sitting next to me. Way lighter. And yet, it can mimic contrast levels and everything else that we need to do. I love showing off white levels on screens that are dark. The reason why I pull my camera back, because this is where you're supposed to be at a distance. You should never be a finger distance next to the screen. See how the white levels come up? Now here and here, I'm gonna have to go back in again, and I told you why. This particular area right here, I don't know why they put that protective coating on the wall. This is a master bedroom. Adults are usually in the master bedroom. I can see about the next rooms over. They don't even have it, but this particular room had it. I had the same problem when I was painting the 50-inch for the Optima GT 5500. I literally had to paint that a couple of times, but I don't know why. I'm gonna make sure when I do this room over again, and I'm definitely gonna paint this whole room over again, that we definitely get rid of that particular coating that's on these walls. All right, let me see. All right, so we're shoving here. Let's go shuffle off into the next room because we're talking about wall projection screens. Now this room didn't have the coating, which I'm glad, because this was a 145-inch screen we put in here. And I did not feel like doing this thing twice, which I think I did do it twice. Yeah, this has the ambulance, same technology that's on that wall in there. It's the same thing in here, the same thing. The light you're seeing from here is the light coming from the ceiling. That's why I told you, the bigger the screen, the more light it's going to take in. Pretty low. And this is painted directly to the wall. I wonder. Oh, it's pretty high too. We don't need all this, we're good. Let's see. Nope. There you go. That's why I like to show up the smaller screen and then switch over to the bigger screen. So that we can get an idea that we can switch up on our screen sizes. Some people will stick with a smaller screen because that's the best image you're going to get off a smaller screen, because it can compress the pixels. And here we can switch up. We can go from a small screen to a big screen to show you that it's not, you're not going to, picture quality, it's not going to wash out. Mind, the projector we're using here is 720p. The one we had in the next room was actually 1080p. So it just shows at the end of the day that the customer doesn't have to spend a lot of money for a projector. That one in the next room was $350. This was $139. So my short throw projector right there. That's why I like the fact that we can change it up at will. We can just move and change it up at will. You don't want to be on the same screen every single day. Now I like this wall because we can change it up. We can switch over to multiple projectors on this wall. Simple 720p WXGA projector. That's it. Projector, you get 720p, you can get online for like 140, 150 bucks. That's it. No calibrating, none of that. Use it in a fully lit environment, so you won't wash it on you. Paint it directly to the wall. That's why people have been ordering the gallons. They've been painting the entire wall. I don't blame them. I love painting the entire wall because you can swap your projectors back and forth. And with the screen being so dark, you never have to worry about a border. That's another plus that I had in dark technology. No borders. Okay, let's go pop into the other room. We'll leave our controller up here. I'm going to do that whole racing game, that off-road racing game. Finally downloaded that. That'd be later on for the night. Go pop back over in here. There we go. Let me see if I took my remote control with me. Yeah, chances are I took it with me. I know I did. Yeah, we did take it with us.
We're in their corner and on it because their local agent is a small business owner too.
Look at my new outfit can do.
Your new outfit. Get your first class free at Orange Theory.
One of the things I like about painting on the wall is the fact that, like I said, you don't have to pay for any hardware, no equipment, nothing. Directly onto the wall. Now, for those of you who have restrictions where you can't paint on the wall, well, screen paint's designed to be painted on just about anything you can possibly think of. And we painted on quite a lot of stuff. Only thing you can't paint it on is stucco. You can paint on stucco, but stucco requires some work. Like I said, I had a customer who had a pink stucco wall, and we were going to cut out the wall exactly where we're going to bring a sander in and grind it down to basically to the flat area of the wall and just paint the screen in there. But they wanted to keep the stucco, so we painted over the stucco. Now, if you don't want to go through the whole grinding process of sanding it down, it's nice and smooth in that section, then we advise you do not paint on it because the image will come out really gritty. But like I said, there's other ways you can build the screens. I said that acoustic surface, when using the, I forgot to post that too. When using the Network Gray 773, comes out nice and smooth. That's what I use to make the gamer screen with. Football highlights.
Getting that from YouTube.
Like having a TV.
Stephen, did you know anyone with a simple tax return can have a TurboTax Live expert do their taxes for them for free?
I have to let you go. I can't afford my records. I'm sorry. This was okay.
Don't give that up. State Farm has rates that fit your budget. Sales over. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
2nd down and 6. Rodgers swings it past caught. Devontae Adams to the 49. On 2nd down, Rodgers. Jones out of the backfield. Hitting stride and down inside the 35.
Outer space 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Keep in mind, the Phantoms are darker than this. Way darker. I think I'm gonna get a chance. I'm gonna paint a 235.1 on my wall because this projector does 235.1. I think I'm gonna measure that out. I'm gonna put a 235.1 right there for that projector right here. So we're gonna have everything in here bone white. We're gonna have certain areas where the screen's gonna be jet black. I think I'm gonna start on this wall first. Get this one coated, this one and this one coated for the display. And then we'll do this one. And then we'll knock out the rest of them. Everything has to be bone white. Then we'll do the floor. Floor is not gonna be painted. We're gonna take a puzzle tile and go around the edges of the floor. And then we're gonna drop in a bone white drop cloth. I want the ceiling done too. I want everything in here bone white. Even the fan, everything. Because we want this room to reflect as much white light as possible. Let's go pop into the next room, see what we got going on over here.
Treat yourself this winter with a Wawa Toasted Caramel Crunch handcrafted beverage or cinnamon bun coffee.
Now, most people in this setting like this, they would have lamps peppered out in the environment. I can't stand using lamps. I got one right over there. I don't even bother with it. What's the point of turning it on? I'd rather have the overhead light on. Check out some football highlights on this thing. Football highlights.
And start on the ground and Fournette. His first carry in over a month.
So you spend the money for an expensive TV for your sports bar? Put one of these in. So many people you'll have will come to your bar to watch a game on a screen of 144 inches. And you can use it in a fully lit environment. Most bars don't even use this kind of lighting when they have the projection screen set up. I've seen them. It'll be dark in that one section right over there, and they'll have a white screen over there with a high-end projector, and the screen will look like absolute crap. But you can have this in a fully lit environment. Even when you shoot pool, it's not even this well lit. Your business is a little slow? Put one of these in, see what happens. They can't go home and watch that at the end of the day. All right, people, hope you enjoyed the demonstration. I gotta go. This is going to be a section on the website that I'm going to be actually adding to the website. We're going to be doing a section on wall projection screens. We're going to be doing a couple of paint-ons, some fast paint-ons. I might just repaint over top this, do it again, just for fun, to show you exactly how fast you can apply it. So we're going to be doing a couple of things on different things we can turn into projection screens. I do plan to get some styrofoam in here too also, to do some styrofoam projection screens. But I will be doing I'm going to measure out, if I put a projector here and set it up, I want a 235.1 right across here. I'm going to paint a 235.1 in right there. So let me see something for a minute, just for testing, just to see. Turn this one off. And I want to see. If we're here, and we hit right there, a 235.1, what would that give us? All goes well, I might paint that one in for today, because that would make a good demonstration for the website. So for those of you who are asking about how to get 235.1 projectors without costing you an arm and a leg, ViewSonic. That's it. ViewSonic's, the projectors from the 2017 models and up have 235.1 settings in them. They don't advertise it, so you can't go to any forum site or any place else to get the information. It doesn't exist. I don't know why they did it that way. It's like a hidden gem. And they even have it in their projectors. This projector is a really interesting one. Like I said, it's a bottom dollar. It's 600 by 800, 720p, but it's 3800 lumens, has a 22,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and it has a 235.1 panorama lens in it, which is quite interesting. I don't know why in the world you would stick such an interesting 235.1 lens on a projector that is 600 by 800 res, but each his own. At the end of the day, I'm not complaining. You know how expensive it is to get a 235.1 set in the projector? Keep in mind, I got several high-end venue projectors in here, and neither one of them have a 235.1 in them. This one has a 235.1. Got to spend a couple grand, a couple $1,000 to get that option in there. Even the Christie 505, which is a very advanced projector, doesn't have it. None of them on the projectors I have in here have a 235.1. It's the only one that has it. Okay. Everything's in, well connected. Where's the remote controls at? I got one in my pocket. Yeah, we should be able to do it from here where we're at. We'll be able to get that in there. Let me see. There we go. See why you're not clicking. Okay, fire stick apparently is having an issue today. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna get it running. But I definitely can do a 235 from here, but we still need to get that fire stick to activate. I don't know why it's having me a hard time right now. Let's unplug it, put it back in and see if that fixes the problem. There we go. I swear fire sticks are very temperamental. Extremely temperamental. So we can put a 235 over here. So we do, since the screens are going to be painted in ahead of time, When we do the walls in bone white, we're gonna have to take plastic and plastic around the screen so we don't damage. Oh, it doesn't make a difference. Paint over anyway. Keep forgetting about that. We just paint this over. Oh, we can get one right over in here too. All right, let me bring this up just a little bit. I think I want to put it right about there. I'm gonna do it 235.1 today. We're painting one in today. That's perfect, 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 perfect. Got a little bit of what we want. Let me see, we need here to do this. All right, let me see. That curtain away. Man, why is it the opposite of what I want out of this stuff, man? Usually I want it to be wider. I got a window in the way. If I put it this way, I won't get the screen I want. If I put it this way, I get it. It's like I got the wall here, but I got the window there, and I'm not blocking the window. That's not gonna happen. So let's see what we gotta do with this. I love being asked for the remote controls. The remote controls are literally right by you the entire time. You got remote controls right by you. We're literally wrapped all the way from there to there. That's how far we got right there. So I'm gonna have to bring this up a little bit. Just get that one spot in there. I need to fit right up in there. Right in here, so I need to fit. That'll work, that'll work. I would like to have it wider, but that will work. We'll take that. I'm not a greedy person, I'll take that. I'm not getting rid of them. I like my curtain where it's at. I'm not trying to block any windows. That's perfect. Remote controls are right here. Literally, look at this nonsense. It's right there. Like Alexa's a jerk at the end of the day. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm the jerk. I think that remote controls in the next one. So we can paint it 235.1 right in this section right here. I'd rather have it a little bit more stretched across, but it'll work. It works for me. I have no idea why I just set up. I'm not using it for anything. So since we don't have any, that's what I want to do, murder myself on that. Since we don't have any frog tape left, we got plenty of kids tape, and that's what we're going to use to paint the screen. The kids tape. When I bring the acoustic screen up, with no use having this up if we're not using it. And this works out great because where that projector's sitting, it's sitting directly on this wall. Where this one's hitting, it's hitting directly on that wall. It won't touch either one of the projectors. So that's perfect how it's fitting in just right. I don't want it too high and I don't want it too low. So that's right there where it's at. So we're gonna do 235.1 over there. And get that speaker, got to be removed out of there. I can drop that to the floor. And just sitting up. That's perfect. So I don't go through the nightmare that I went through trying to paint over these walls. Because I went through the same thing with this one over here. Same thing. Whatever they put in here that protect the surface, I had to go through the same with this one over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the wall first. I'm going to use the network gray. It dries like in no time at all. Down to the dry and hit it. We're done. That's it. I'm not trying to do this 3 or 4 times. Should have did this one the same way. I kind of forgot about that coating. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll go over to, I'll go on Monday, I'll pop over to put an order in. I think I need just 1.5 gallons. I want super bone white. Get the walls and everything nice and bright. Now what we're gonna use for lighting in here, we're not doing neon. We're doing these. So those super bright lights in there, that's what we're sticking in here. Up top and on the floor. So imagine the whole entire area is gonna be jet white. White curtains, the whole 9 yards. And we're gonna have those white lights pushing through here. I want it to be as bright as possible in here. See if we have, see if we can meter the max out. So let me see what's going on here. I just need, this is a little bit off here. I don't know why I have a little bit off here. Seems to be a little bit crooked. I don't know why here. Right there. This is where it's driving me nuts. So we're gonna have to do something with that. That's gonna drive me a little crazy. So let's see. Could be the floor. Let's anchor it that way. It'll be off a little more slant. I'll fix that later on, but before I paint it in, I'm gonna have to get it in that sweet spot. It's not that, it's gonna drive me crazy. There you go. That's better. That keeps Mr. Bird from going a little crazy at the end of the day. There we go. 235.1 for this side right here. Show you on the menu. This is our settings right here. 235.1. Told you, these projectors have them. The first time I found out about this is I bought a projector. I think I bought a 720p ViewSonic. And when I was going through my settings, I saw 235.1. I thought it was wrong. Like, what the freak? They don't put 235.1 in these kind of projectors, but it was in there. So then that's when I started shopping for the projectors. I went and bought the PX747, the 4K projector. It had it in it. I went and bought a 4000 model. I can't forget that one's 4000 lumens, but I can't remember the name of it. But that one had in it. It was 1080p. It was 1920 by 1200. I bought that one. And then I bought the cheapest one they had, which was the 600 by 800 with a 720p one they had. I said, it can't be in that. And sure enough, it was in there too. So I called up ViewSonic. I was like, do you know that you have why don't you advertise that you have a 235.1 setting in your projectors? And they kind of act like they didn't even know what I was talking about. But I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's an amazing option. Why don't you exploit it? I mean, how many people would buy projectors for that cheap if you had a 235.1 setting in it? Because with 235.1, I mean, you have some options that come up, and the options are not freaking good. One of the options they have that you can buy a lens that fits over your projector on eBay. They're like $1,200, $1,300 for those bad boys. There is the wide camera angle. People use those too, but the only problem is you have to put it in 1610 and the edges of the screen come out distorted and fuzzy, so it doesn't really work all that well. It was designed for a camera lens, not a projector lens. I've done a couple of demonstrations on those too. And then you have the projectors that do have them, and these are probably somewhere between maybe a couple of $1,000, $4,000 or $5,000 projectors that have them. JVCs are crazy expensive. They have them in there automatically. I don't know if you've got JVCs that have them. That projector can cost you $5,000 or $6,000 at the end of the day. And then you have the ViewSonic projector, which is a 600 by 800 SVGA projector that has a 235.1 setting in it. That will cost you $150, brand new, $300. Why don't they advertise it? They don't. I don't get it. There's a couple of weird things that popped up in projectors. Acer had a projector. Acer had a gaming projector. The big one. It was a big old heavy gaming projector. It was red. When it came out, they had something called a bending box. Yeah, it was a bending box. It was a box designed to automatically curve the screen. It was a gaming projector, and it had a bending box. It was designed to manipulate and bend the screen to a curve. But when the system came out, the box disappeared. I think what happened was somewhere along the line, they sold the technology off, and they just sold it as it is. But yeah, there's a bending box to it. So you can automatically turn your screen to a curve. I thought that was pretty hot. And then all of a sudden, it never came with the box. Like, what happened to it? They sold it off. But this is actually already in the projector. So when people ask about having 235.1s, that's on right from the door. Get a ViewSonic. It's cheap, they're affordable, and they all have as long as it's the 2017 model and up. Anything under that, don't touch it because it won't have it. So yeah, we're gonna do one in here. Now, me personally, I prefer to paint the screen on 235.1 any day. Building them can be a headache. Building them, you could be a couple inches over and you still would have this long strip of this black bar going through. 235.1s, when you set them up, there is no bars at the top and the bottom. That's it, it doesn't exist. When you watch a screen that's 16:9 and 16:10, and it's trying to do a kind of 235.1 format, that's where you get the black bars at the bottom and the top. They're not supposed to be there at all. When you do 235.1, they don't exist. That's why I don't like certain screens like Silver Ticket. I bought a couple of those in 235.1 settings. They have black borders around it. What's the point of having a 235.1 if you got a freaking border sticking around it? It's still an inch of the screen. You don't want to see that there. You want it to be seamless. You want it to be edgeless. And edgeless 235.1 is going to look beautiful because you can take your lens shift and you can push it right to the very edge where you see this very thin line going across your screen. That's what you want for 235.1. What you're going to do here, we're going to paint this thing right to the edge. Now, since, ooh, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard. A little bit forgetting this room because, like I said, this projector doesn't have lens shift. But if I mark it, which I'm going to have to mark it where it's at, so we can set it here every time, because not, it's going to be a nightmare getting it in there. But we'll do one right here on the wall. Let's look at a whatchamacallit real quick. And then I'll show you an example. I'll show you an example because we'll have this screen on too. So we'll do two videos. Both of them will be in 235.1, but this one's going to be in a 16:9 format. This is going to be 235.1. And this one, you'll see no bars. This one, you'll see bars at the top and the bottom. I love it when you get TVs, and TVs have a habit of doing this. You buy a TV, and they'll say, format it. Format it. It's going to give you widescreen, but it's formatted widescreen. You're not actually getting widescreen at the end of the day. You're not. You're getting a format version of widescreen. You know how wide your TV would have to be in order for you to get a full 16:9? Yeah, it's formatted. That's why the bars there. And you have 4.3, your bars are on the side, instead of being on the top and the bottom. All right, see if we got the right one here. Now, keep in mind, when you do a 235.1 setup, you're going to have to, this is a true dedicated setup, which means you can't watch everything off of it. You have to watch certain things that are 235.1 only, because at the end of the day, there's going to be things missing from your screen, like the top of the heads and the bottom, that's going to be gone. So that's why I always had two, you have a screen at 69 and so forth. 235.1 demonstrations. I'm gonna go over my time here. We're gonna have to put this in ourselves, because this is gonna bring up all kinds of craziness. All right, so let's go over here and let's clear this out. And this print simple, basic. And it's not only just 235. I think there's something called like 1.7 something is one weird. That's a weird setting. Oh, that's super thin. That's like that freaking thin. There's 239.1, which I haven't even had a chance to experience what yet. Let's see, I put that in twice, sorry about that. 2.35.1. This is a good video. Now, this is a really good video. Silver Ticket did a fantastic job in explaining 235.1. If you don't understand how that whole thing works, watch this video right here. Really good video to watch to educate yourself on 235.1 settings. That's a good one right there by Silver Ticket. They did a good job with that one. I bought a couple of the 235.1 screens, but I'd rather have them edgeless. I would rather have them edgeless. I don't want to see any border. I want it to be all screen only. Let me see what I got. Keystone over here too. A little bit better on the keystone. I mean, we have a little bit more to stand out. No, bring our off of that one. Expand the screen just a little bit more. Perfect. That's what I want. I want it to be right there on the edge. That's where that thin tape's gonna come nice. All right. That's 235.1 right there. That's 235.1. That's 235.1. Someone has this in 235.1. I wonder if that's in 235.1 actually. Actually, it is in 235.1. No bars. Yeah, there's no bars. It definitely is 235.1.
Hey, you want to fly your drone for commercial purposes? I have the perfect course for you with 5.7 made easy.
Most cameras, like DSLRs, mirrorless cameras, drones, and action cams, record footage in 17721, better known as.
Yeah, it's gonna be long. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. I just woke up. I Apparently I'm so tired, so I'm gonna play my game system for a little bit. If I fall asleep in my gaming chair for a bit, then we back up, and then we're gonna paint in at 235.1. But the surface is definitely gonna have to be primed first because I'm not going through what I want to do here. I still have to put another coat on that to get rid of that marking in there because that's from the paint separating because of the protective coat. I know when I do this room in bone white, I'm not doing it twice, so I'm about to get a really good one coat coverage paint. My paint I got was a super paint, which wasn't really a good one coat coverage. It's a $17 container of paint for doing the one coat in here, for doing that on the gray screen. All right, so we got that to do today. Oh man. All right, let me get on out of here because I got to post these videos to the website. We'll do a 235.1 right there. That'll be perfect. All right, gotta go. God bless.